Good evening to the architects of culture and the students of human nature. Welcome back to Whatever You Need, the only digital sanctuary where we refuse to skim the surface of the celebrity ocean. We dive deep, past the coral reefs of headlines, into the dark trenches where the real story lives. Today we are dissecting a phenomenon that is both a comedy of errors and a tragedy of interpretation. We are looking at two titans of the industry. Hazal, the whirlwind of spontaneity who has been dominating the news cycle, and Çağatay Ulusoy, the fortress of silence who rarely lowers the drawbridge. But what happens when the fortress fires a shot? A single sentence, uttered by Ulusoy, has turned the gossip world upside down. Was it a joke? Was it a critique? Or was it a mirror held up to a society that loves to judge its leading ladies? Before we decode this enigma, please secure your standing in our community. Subscribe to the channel, press the like button to support independent analysis, and for those who wish to walk the halls of our inner sanctum, we strongly urge you to click the join button. Your support allows us to speak truth to power. Now let us analyze the sentence that sparked a crisis. Lately, the Turkish gossip ecosystem has been orbiting a single, blazing sun, Hazal. She has become the protagonist of a serialized drama that plays out in real time, grabbing headlines with every step she takes and every syllable she utters. She is not merely participating in the culture, she is disrupting it. We have witnessed her candid, almost unfiltered commentary about Meryem Üzerli at the Joy Awards, a moment of raw honesty that left the PR agent sweating. We saw the hand-kissing incident at the Gülşen concert, a gesture of traditional respect that was dissected by social media, as if it were a crime scene. And then, the piece de resistance, her famous admission, "I'm glad I didn't meet Tarkan." Just when the cacophony surrounding Hazal's verbal freedom was reaching a crescendo, a surprising figure stepped out from the shadows. Çağatay Ulusoy, a man known for his stoic silence, his aloofness, and a public persona constructed from mystery, suddenly stirred the pot with a single, cryptic comment, "Hazal might call me uncle soon." In the volatile world of celebrity news, there are phrases that act as matches thrown into a powder keg. As soon as they are uttered, they are stripped of context, weaponized, and spread like wildfire until they cease to be jokes and become indictments. Çağatay Ulusoy's alleged comment had precisely this nuclear effect. Consider the players on this chessboard. On one side, we have Hazal, whose recent actions have been defined by a manic, joyful energy that has polarized the public. On the other, we have Çağatay Ulusoy, the disciplined guardian of his own image, a man who rarely engages in banter. And in the middle, we have the phrase itself, a subtle hint, half joke, half insinuation, perfect for the voracious appetite of social media. But how did we get here? It is claimed that during a recent event, or perhaps in a backstage whisper caught by a diligent ear, Ulusoy was pressed for a comment on Hazal's recent spree of headlines. His response was brief, dry, and devastatingly ambiguous, "Hazal might call me uncle soon." Within seconds, this sentence traveled from the lips of the actor to the screens of millions. Why did this particular statement generate such a seismic buzz? If a comedian or a talk show host had said it, it would have vanished in an hour. But this is Çağatay Ulusoy. He is the man who gives monosyllabic answers to the tabloid press. He is the man who stays miles away from controversy. For him to step into the ring with a quip, and a sharp one at that, was perceived as a radical departure from his usual behavior. The digital reaction was immediate. "An unexpected comment from Çağatay," wrote one user. "It's a joke, but isn't it a bit over the top?" asked another. The theories began to multiply. Was this a friendly jab between old co-stars who share a history the public will never fully understand? Or was it a clever satire, a way for Çağatay to distance himself from Hazal's recent, overfamiliar behavior with other celebrities? To understand the joke, we must understand the target. Why is Hazal currently the industry's favorite punching bag? According to the whispers in the deep gossip circles, there are three structural reasons. First, Kaya has abandoned the carefully curated mask of the perfect starlet. She exhibits a spontaneity that appears uncontrolled to the untrained eye, but is actually a conscious reclamation of her own voice. Second, she occupies a rare position of power where she no longer feels the need to get along with everyone. She kisses hands if she wants to, she critiques idols if she chooses. This autonomy makes her dangerous, and therefore, every action is open to malicious interpretation. Third, her use of humor as a defense mechanism, her witty, carefree tone in the face of criticism, is irritating the establishment. They want her to be apologetic, instead, she is amused. Now let us parse the word that caused the stir, uncle. In the lexicon of Turkish relationships, calling someone uncle or dayı/amca is a complex signal. It implies age, yes, but it also implies a shift in dynamic. It suggests a hierarchy. By saying Hazal might call him uncle, is Çağatay suggesting she is acting like a child in a room full of adults? Or is he referencing her recent habit of extreme deference, like kissing Gülsen's hand, implying she is treating everyone in the industry like an elder to be revered? Some interpreted this expression as a reference to Hazal's recent attempts to ingratiate herself with big names. By joking that he is next in line for a title, Ulusoy's statement was perceived by some as the final link in a chain of mockery. Social media, naturally, split into two warring factions. The first group, the It's Just a Joke Brigade, drew attention to the deep, decade-long history between the two actors. They argued that Çağatay and Hazal are war buddies from the Adini Feraha Koydum days. They have earned the right to roast each other. To this group, the comment was a sign of intimacy, a private joke that the public simply isn't cool enough to understand. The second group, the Condescension Watch, saw something darker. They argued that at a time when Hazal Kaya was already facing a barrage of misogynistic criticism for being too loud, or too much, for her former male co-star to join the pile-on with a sarcastic comment was unnecessary and unkind. They saw it as a subtle way of putting her in her place. But what is the truth behind the scenes? According to our sources in the gossip columns, the reality is far less dramatic than the Twitter threads suggest. It is claimed that when Hazal Kaya heard the comment, she didn't weep, she laughed. She reportedly told her inner circle, "Everyone has assigned me a role in their own play, I'm just watching the show." This response highlights her current state of zen. She knows she is the main character, and she is letting the supporting cast improvise. As for Çağatay, the situation is clearer. It is said that he did not utter the phrase to consciously ignite a controversy. It was likely a throwaway line in a humorous conversation, a moment of dryness that didn't translate well to print. However, reports suggest that once the words became public and twisted, Ulusoy lost his temper, not at Hazal, but at the mechanism of fame that turns banter into bullets. Regardless of intent, this incident has created a small but visible crack in the distant, serious, and calm image Çağatay Ulusoy has maintained for years. Social media users are realizing that beneath the brooding exterior lies a sharper, perhaps darker, sense of humor. For some, this humanizes him. He spoke clearly for once, they cheered. For others, it tarnishes the mystery. I wish he hadn't gotten involved at all, they lamented. So far, Hazal Kaya has not issued a direct response. But her silence is a language of its own. Anyone familiar with her style knows she rarely engages in direct combat. She prefers the veiled post, the humorous story, the ironic selfie. It is widely speculated in gossip circles that we should expect a humorous retort in the coming days, perhaps a photo of her calling someone else uncle, or a witty caption that acknowledges the joke without validating the drama. We have to stop and ask you, the jury of whatever you need. Where do you stand on the uncle debate? Was Çağatay being a brotherly friend teasing his sister, or was he being a judgmental peer adding fuel to the fire? And do you think Hazal is being unfairly targeted for just being herself? Let us know your verdict in the comments. And remember, hitting that join button is the best way to keep this channel independent and fearless. This incident has brought a recurring, ugly theme of the celebrity world to the forefront. The gendered double standard of humor. When a male star makes a joke, he is witty. When a female star acts spontaneously, she is out of control. Hazal Kaya's recent experiences have revealed that the behavior of female celebrities is interpreted through a much harsher lens than that of their male counterparts. Çağatay can make a cryptic comment and be called mysterious. Hazal makes a joke about Tarkan and is called disrespectful. One short phrase, one massive impact. Hazal might call me uncle soon. It may have been just a joke, a fleeting synapse firing in a casual conversation. But because it occurred at the intersection of Hazal's controversial visibility and Çağatay's legendary invisibility, it became a headline. The truth is simple, both Hazal Kaya and Çağatay Ulusoy are titans. They are the sun and the moon of their generation. And when they appear in the same headline, the tide rises. This incident has demonstrated that in the world of celebrity gossip, the biggest storms often begin with the smallest butterflies, or in this case, the smallest jokes. What do you think? Has the uncle comment changed your view of their friendship? Is Hazal Kaya the victim of a bored media, or the master of it? We will be watching for her response. Until then, keep your eyes open and your skepticism healthy. This has been a special report by Whatever You Need. Like, subscribe and join. Goodbye.